Hi, I'm Chandler Carranza, Category Manager for PA Wine and Spirits, here with Jordan Bushell of Hennessy US, Mixologist.
Thanks for having me. I'm going to take you through some cognac knowledge, some cognac history, and a little bit of cognac cocktails.
So what is it exactly that makes a cognac special?
Well, cognac is from the Cognac region of France, just above Bordeaux on the southwest side. It's got 6 grand cru growing regions within cognac that you have to harvest your grapes from in order to be called a cognac. Anything else is simply brandy.
Perhaps you can tell us a little bit more about how cognac is made?
First of all, we start off with a white wine, about 11% alcohol. We take that white wine, we put it through a double copper pot distillation. It takes about 10 days to go through this process, and when it's done, it's called an eau de vie, water of life. It's about 70% alcohol before we put it in a barrel.
Now, the age of that water of life is what helps determine the classification. Perhaps you can explain that a little bit further?
Yeah, we take it and we've got to put it in a French oak barrel for minimum 2.5 years. At the 2.5 year mark, we can then blend it with another eau de vie, and then it can be called a cognac. So that's where we get to our VS, our very special. It starts at 2.5 years, we take it to 8 years old. It's got about 40 different eau de vie in the blend. Then we go to our VSOP, our very superior old pale. That starts at about 4 years, goes to 15 years old, has 60 different eau de vie in the blend. We then have the XO, the extra old. That starts at 6 years old, goes to 30 years old, and has about 100 different eau de vie in that blend.
Now, because of cognac being mature, a lot of people think that you have to drink it neat or on the rocks in order to fully appreciate that. Is it true?
Well, they're not wrong. That's a great way to drink it. But there's also a lot of other ways to drink it. I mean, historically, we can look back over hundreds of years and see it being used in punch recipes in India. We can see it used in the first cocktail book 150 years ago made in the States. And so it has a lot of history that's tied to cocktails, to punches, to a lot of these other drinks. So it's really about your own personal preference and what you enjoy.
So where do you come in all this as a mixologist?
Well, my job as a mixologist is to provide that kind of variety that, if you like it neat or on the rocks, that's great. You've figured out how you enjoy your cognac. But if you don't know or you haven't experienced it in the right way yet, I can give you some different options and some different ways to experience all the different flavors and the complex natures of it.
Well, perhaps we can show our viewers out there a couple of cocktails, maybe a classic and maybe one that they might not be so familiar with.
Perfect. I'll start you off with one of my favorites, and it's a classic from New Orleans known as the Sazerac. It originally started as a cognac cocktail. More commonly today you see it as a rye-based cocktail.
What are we putting in there?
This is Peychaud bitters. This is one of the integral ingredients to this cocktail. So I added about 5 dashes of that. I'm adding 2-3 ounces of Hennessy VS. And to sweeten up a little bit, this is simple syrup, which is simply sugar and water boiled together to make it easily mixable for everyone.
Sounds simple enough.
The other ingredient here is absinthe, and we're only using the smallest bit to just wash or flavor the inside of the glass here. And then we just kind of pour out what we don't use. We're going to stir up the cocktail to get it chilled. The reason we stir over a shake is because we don't want all the dilution that a shake would provide. We just want to chill the cocktail down to a great drinkable temperature. So when we're done, we're going to strain off all the ice into our our absinthe wash glass. We're going to top with a twist of lemon to bring out some nice aromatics to the drink. And there you go. You have a Sazerac.
Seems simple enough. Let's move on to our next cocktail.
The next one is an adaptation of a famous Brazilian cocktail known as a Caipirinha. Traditionally, this is made with cachaça, but I'm using Hennessy Black today because it's got a lot of light, really elegant flavors to it. So you muddle half a lime down. You're going to balance out that citric acid with some simple syrup. I'm going to fill the glass with ice. The ice is the mixer in this case, and so, Brazil was hot. Letting the ice melt really provides a balanced drink here. I've got about 2 ounces of Hennessy Black in this. I'm just going to stir that up to combine all the ingredients. And then top with a twist of orange, because the orange flavor is really going to help to meld the cognac into the flavors of the lime.
Beautiful.
Cheers.
Thank you very much, Jordan, for coming by. You can find products and recipes such as this at finewineandgoodspirits.com. While you're online, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. As always, please enjoy responsibly.
Cheers.
Cheers.